So I have the 277 here. I've been running it for about an hour and a half, and I am, tell you the truth, I'm about ready to break this thing over a tree. Right? I brought my Amphibio with me. I used my Amphibio for a little while, but I'm having some enormous issues with this 277 version. I always have, but I've been trying to hang in there with it. It's just, I can't seem to stabilize this machine, man. It becomes very, very unstable when you start going up above 4 bars. And at 4 bars, you're only going 5 or 6 inches deep. And when I'm around a lot of EMI or I'm around other detectors, because I do dig around a lot of other detectorists, and sometimes within 5 feet away from me. And I just can't seem to get this thing to work right. This is my machine that I have 1,400 hours on, and I've had 267, 268, 276, 277, and 278 on this machine. I have a lot of hours on this machine, but this 277 version, I just cannot get it to run right in my detector. The 278 version is a little bit better. It's still hard to pinpoint with the 278, but it did tone it down a little bit. You know, it did stabilize it a little bit, that new update, but it's still just hard to pinpoint. And pinpointing is a huge part of metal detecting. If you're detecting curb strips or you're detecting parts or schools, you can't make a freaking huge mess. You can't dig a hole this big and make a huge mess everywhere. And with this version, the 277 version, it's really hard to pinpoint, even at half gain, man. And if you drop your gain down to half bars, like to 4 or 5 bars, it makes it even harder to pinpoint because you can't, it has a less field of detection. It has a shallower field of detection, so you can't pinpoint those deeper targets. And then once you go to full gain, it just gets too unstable to detect it. It just falses a lot. And most of those, and I found out that I found a little trick today. If you go to beach mode, right there. See, beach mode. Run in beach mode. Runs a lot more stable. 277 version in beach mode in the parks. I'm at full gain right now because I want to be going at full gain because I want to get those deep buckles right here. This is a really old park right here, and there's a lot of old stuff deep. And I can't pinpoint the targets in the other modes. So my patience is running really short with this version here. I think this is just a lame version. That's why they came out with the 278 so shortly after the 277, because they needed to patch it, right? They needed to fix that horrible version that they created. Some guys like it, but you know, it's just a little too unstable for me. I like hot machines. I like, you know, running my machines a little bit on the unstable side, but I just can't seem to stabilize this detector to my preferences. It just seems to be really erratic on the numbers, the depth meter, the pinpointing is just horrible. The pinpointing is just nearly impossible. And you know, I'm just see. I'm in beach mode right now. Let me drop the gain down a little bit, just so I can pinpoint it. See, down to 5 bars. Is it gonna be part of a beaver tail? The beaver part of a beaver tail? I think so. That's what I'm thinking. But this thing is driving me nuts, man. I had my Amphibio today. I was running my Amphibio. I found a ring over there by the school. And I said, oh, I'll break out my 277 and see what I can get. It's a pull tab. See how jumpy that was, man? It just seems like it seems like it's like being notched out, or it's being discriminated out just a little bit when you drop it, when you drop the bars down to like 5 bars or 6 bars or something, it seems to run really erratic. It's very difficult to pinpoint with this machine. So I'm just gonna have a little bit more patience with it. That's what I like about the Simplex. You know, you can go back and forth between the modes. So if I'm gonna be going out to a farm field, I wanna have this detector with me, because I want it to run as deep as I can, right? I want this 277 version out in the fields. Basically, out in the fields is the only place it will perform, because I don't have to worry about making a huge mess out in the fields, because I'm out in the fields, right? I'm out in the farm fields. I can't dig huge holes out in the parks and the schools and the curb strips with this machine, you know, because it just runs so unstable. I can't pinpoint. Pinpointing is a huge part of not making a mess, right? And even if I do make a mess, I have to clean it up, and that just takes more time. So I'm spending a lot of time pinpointing it, and then I'm spending a lot of time cleaning my mess up because I couldn't pinpoint it correctly. See how it just clips out? I'm 1 bar down from full sensitivity, but I just get a lot of pulsing on the coil. So I'm investigating a lot of just targets that I will not be digging up. You know, just pulsing. And I'm not around any power lines here. Sure, there's a power line right there, but that thing doesn't, that light is not a high power transformer. There's no transformer around me. And I'm not near any modems. But once I get near modems, or once I get near some transformers or some junction boxes, you know, near a street or on the curb strips, this machine will not cut it. The 277 is just way too unstable. I make huge messes in the curb strip trying to find the targets, and I can only have it at like half gain, because it's just there's too much power running into the coil like that. See how it's just cutting out? It's like a double tap right there. I'm in beach mode still, but let me go to Park 2. Let's see what it does there. It's junk. Let's dig this up. Okay. 0304, pretty stable iron signal here. Okay. Let's see what we got here. It's a nail. Watch it be a gold necklace or something. That would be epic, man. I'm still not into this version now. I'm not into it. I'm just not happy with it, man. Not a happy digger with the 277 version. A little bit of iron. What kind of iron is it, though? Right there. So that should be bringing up really high. All right, it's round, it's thick. That should be bringing up high. That's just absurd. I want to be digging that stuff out. I don't want to be skipping that stuff up. So I'm gonna just continue with it just for a little bit longer. I just have a little bit more patience in me. See, now a target's coming out here. The Simplex 267 version, I would be able to hear both those targets. And I would know exactly where they were at, just because it runs so stable. It's probably gonna be a pull tab right here, right? This park has a lot of epic iron stuff in it. A lot of buckles, old cars, old die-cast cars, and just some cool stuff. What's that? What the heck is that? It's a beaver tail. You know? I would almost skip that thing up because I was just reading up 0403 in Park 2 mode, right? It's reading that iron. It's detecting that iron over the good target that I want to get out, that mid conductor. And look at my iron volume. My iron volume is set at 2. So I'm trying to test this machine out, see, I want to figure this thing out, right? I want to know what Nokta saw in this product to be putting this update out. And this version is a deep version, but I just can't seem to stabilize this detector. You know, I've tried everything. I've tried different frequency shifts. I've tried different modes, different levels of iron volume, different levels of gain, and I just can't seem to get this thing to run right. And I ran another 277 too, just because I wasn't very confident in this machine when I did update it. So I used somebody else's for a while, and I did not like theirs either. And then other guys started telling me that the 277 is junk, and I didn't believe them, so I just had to update. I've been having to go in between this and 278, and I want to see which one is better. Better for me. I'm not saying that one detector is better than the other. It's just one has a specific purpose for me. That's why I have so many detectors, because they have specific purposes for me. I'll take this 277, or I'll just go back and forth from 278 to 277, and I'll use this 277 for the farm fields because it goes so deep, and I don't have to worry about making a big mess in the farm fields. Because this thing is just not very good at pinpointing like this right here. You know, and where the hell is the thing at? Way off. This is what I'm talking about, man. The pinpointing on this machine is just horrible. I'm just gonna dig it up. I'm just gonna, because I'm not in the grass here, I'm in the dirt. So if I make a big mess, who cares, right? It could be something epic though. Look at that. Look at how good that sounds now. Is that it right there? No. I'm gonna use my pinpointer. Why does it sound so good now? And where's it at? Right in there. Right in there. It's a pull tab, reading up in the 70s. That is ridiculous. Okay, I think I'm done for the day. I've lost my patience with this 277. I've used it for enough hours to know that it's not going to work in the parks. Okay? It's not going to work in the parks for me. And with the 267 version, I would know that there's two targets there. I would know exactly where those two targets are, and I would know how deep they are, because I'll be able to pinpoint them separately, right? Or this piece of iron I wouldn't even be able to hear this piece of iron. I would just only hear the other target. But I do want to dig the iron out too. Yeah, now it's all reading high. What do we got going on here? Right there. Look at that. It's a coin right there. Is it a V-nickel? Oh my God, what is that? Oh my Lord, it's a token. Oh wow. It's an epic token too. Man. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. It says 1 on it. 1 cent in trade. One good for 1 cent in trade. Wow. That is epic, man. That is killer. That is in good shape too. Salem, Oregon. James Ingalls, Salem, Oregon. 1 cent in trade. Wow, that is an old one right there. That is epic, man. I'll stay with this machine just for a little while. Good for 1 cent in trade. Wow, that is epic, man. James Ingalls, Salem, Oregon. That is probably from the 1920s, I would say. Probably from the 1920s, in really good shape. Look at that. Good for 1 cent in trade. Wow, that is epic, man. James Ingalls, Salem, Oregon. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.